Y'all remember when we were a lot younger? And everybody that was older than us always trying to teach us lessons and shit like that. My daddy used to say that shit all the time. Say, young buck, come here, let me learn you something. But you didn't want nothing to do with what they had to say. Because you had all this shit figured out. Where apparently I'm old now. Because last night I had to teach a young buck a lesson. Let me tell y'all a little story about what done happened last night, alright? I do not do nothing past 8 o'clock. I'll be dead ass honest with you. From the time I turned 30 years old, my favorite thing around 8 p.m. every night is to lay in the bed, get a pill, some head. Well, that did not happen last night because I had some buddies call me to come in from out of town that I ain't seen in about a year. And keep in mind, they're about 5 or 6 years younger than me, so they're still able to go out and they like the party scene and they don't have 5 to 6 day hangovers. They can wake up the next day and do it again. That's not me, but I bit the bullet and went down there and saw them because I ain't seen them in a while. Now, keep in mind, the bar that we went to is not no damn honky-tonk, all right? It's playing that damn boom-boom music with the lights and shit going on everywhere and shit like that. Women all out on the dance floor trying to bring disrespect to their whole family and make their daddies cringe because they're shaking everything that God gave them that could possibly gain them the attention of a man. Now, I personally, that doesn't do it for me, but it does gain the attention of younger men. We're sitting there at the table and I'm talking to one of my buddies just across the table, but he ain't got a damn nothing for me in this conversation. He is glued to that dance floor out there. So I turn and look, and there is a woman out there on that dance floor that's very recognizable. It is. One reason is because she's a cut above the rest. This woman is a fine woman. She built like a brick shithouse. She really is. But he is not listening to me, and I'm trying to tell him some important shit. But right in the middle of my conversation, he gets up and walks out there to the dance floor, and she's out there shaking her ass like the rest of them are doing to that boom boom music and everything like that. Well, he decides that he's gonna go try to dance up on her. He tried to dance up on her and put his little wee wee on her booty and try to rub it, and she did not like that shit, so she shut him the hell down. He come back over to the table, and he was sitting up like a damn puppy that just got his ass whipped. He said, man, that's one of them damn women I was talking about. I said, what you talking about, boy? He said, that's one of them women right there that dresses to the nine, comes out here, knows they're fine as shit, and any man that comes up to her ain't got a shot in hell of going home with her or even just getting to know her. I said, well, you trying to go home with her? He said, no, I was just trying to dance on her, maybe get to know her, man. She's beautiful. I said, well, you went about it all wrong, young buck. That ain't how you do this shit, man. He said, what you talking about, Zach? You've been out the game too long. You don't understand. That's one of them women that come to these bars and they will shut every man down. It's like a sport to them. I said, buddy, you did it all wrong. I'm telling you. He said, I tell you what, Zach, I'll bet you a beer right now that you can't get that woman to have one dance with you. I told him, I said, buddy, you don't want to do that. He said, what do you mean? I said, I'll have that woman wanting to know my damn whole life story by the time the end of the first dance. He looked at me and said, I'm going to bet you a beer that you can't even get her to dance with you one time, which is a mistake on his part. You do not want to bet me a beer to do anything, because I won't do shit for a Klondike bar, but I'll do some slutty shit for a Busch Light, okay? So, all right, I'll teach you something, young buck. So I got up and walked over to the DJ. Walked over to the DJ, brought out a $20 bill out of my pocket, slid across the table to him, looked at him, winked, and told him to come here. He leaned down, and I told him exactly what I wanted him to do. I wanted him to play a song. And I didn't want him to play a song after this song was over with. I wanted him to play a song right now. And he charged me another $20 for it. I pulled out another 20, slid another 20 across the table to him. He cut the music right then, cut the lights down low, and started playing the song I asked him to do. Now, when he cut the music, the entire dance floor stopped, because he just done. No more music. And started playing my song. The whole dance floor stopped, turned around, and looked toward the DJ booth. I'm standing right there beside it, including the woman that I'm fitting to go have a dance with. She looks at me, and I make eye contact with her. And right across an entire floor of people who were just dancing 5 seconds ago, I walked right through all of them, and I didn't give a shit if anybody was in my way or not. Sooner or later, they started parting just like the Red Sea. I walked right up to that woman, and I made eye contact the whole way to her. The song has already started playing. I reached out my hand and said, ma'am, I just shut down this whole bar in order to have one dance with you. Will you give me the honor of doing just one dance? And she put her hand in mine and put herself in close. And the song that was playing was Don't Close Your Eyes by Keith Whitley. And I spun her all the way around that dance floor. I spun her in and out of people and everything. Sooner or later, the whole damn dance floor cleared. All the people that were on there just stood along the side as I twirled this woman all around that dance floor. And you could look at her and she was smiling the whole time. But after the dance was over with, I gave her one last dip, leaned in, gave her a kiss on the cheek. I said, ma'am, you made my whole night. I sincerely appreciate you granting me that wish. And I walked back to the table. Now, as I walked back to the table, okay, the whole bar is watching me. I went down and sat over there, told my buddy to get me a beer. He went and got me a beer, and he come and sat back down. He said, Zach, what just happened? I said, man, you missing the whole damn point of this whole dating game. Just because old Zach been out of the game too damn long, got a little age on me, a little gray hair and a beard, don't mean I don't know how to do this. All them women out there that you could have picked out of, you picked that one. You picked her out of a herd. They're all out there. They're doing the same thing on the dance floor. Okay? He said, yeah. I said, that's a bunch of women out there. But if you can find a way to make that one woman feel like a lady, you got something going on. He said, I don't understand. I said, when I went out there and I cut that music off and I turned that boom boom shit off and I put on an old belly rubbing song by Keith Whitley, walked right up to her, made her the most important person in that bar to me. I didn't go out there and look around and see which one was going to dance with me or this, that, and the other. I picked out one. I made her feel like the only woman in the world. And the whole time that I was twirling her ass around that dance floor out there, two-stepping, she felt like the only woman in the world. And that's the only thing women want in this world, is to feel like that some man out there has eyes for them and only them. Now, for the rest of the night, while we were sitting there at that table, every woman in that bar would come up to this table. And my buddies had to pick of the litter. They could have danced with any woman they wanted to because I had done something different than the norm. So right along the time, about 10:30, 11 o'clock, all the women's around the table and everything like that. My buddies are just wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, everything like that, trying to talk to all these women. They ain't never done nothing like that. And old Zach just kind of eased off into the distance, went on home, laid in the bed, and get it, pillow some head. Young bucks, y'all can learn a few things from us old bucks, I'm gonna tell you. And women, one last message for y'all. Country boys do it better. And I mean that disrespectfully. Shit.